If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources, call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help. When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick-skinned, stiff upper lip, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. I can. We all can. Y'all, it's okay to not be okay. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org. And check out badbitcheshavebaddays2.com for even more resources, hotties.
Thank you for tuning in to the Anna Linzie Show. I am your host for the Anna Linzie Show, Lifestyle Show, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in today. I'm here back in my studio. It feels so good to be in my studio. I have a special guest as always. My guests are so amazing, and today is no different. I have Miss Angela Espinoza. Thanks,
Hi,
Angela.
thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Angela, we are good friends.
We are.
Yes.
We are.
I am so excited that you're here today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This is so exciting to me. I'm saying exciting a lot right now, aren't I? I am, because you have supported me through several of my events, and you're here again, and just hanging with your girl.
Yes.
And I appreciate it.
You're so amazing.
Oh.
I was so excited when you invited me, and to everything that you have hosted, and it's just exciting to be a part of this show that you're launching. It's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. And I really appreciate it. I appreciate you trusting me, because I admire you a lot.
Oh,
I
thank you.
admire who you are and what you're doing, and all that that I know about you. And today I get a chance to share you with the audience.
Thank you. The feeling is definitely mutual.
Oh, I know it is. I know it is. It's just a blessing to have good people in your life, good friends in your life, good
Absolutely.
women, good powerful women in your life, and I don't take that for granted. And I know that I'm just truly blessed to have that, and I have that in you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, enough of that, right?
You're making me blush.
I want to. Well, you deserve it. You really do. And I know that everyone who knows you feel that way. But, the world right now is going to know who I know.
Awesome.
Can I read your bio?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Great, great. Angela is a self-made entrepreneur, you guys. Founded, managed partner of Right Choice Tax Services. For 14 years, she's been in business. That's amazing.
Yes.
Has it felt like 14 years, Angela?
No, it has not. My body sometimes feels the 14 years, but it's just that this ride has just been amazing.
I can tell.
And it's gone by so quickly. And I definitely have to take some time to kind of sit still and look back and say, wow, look where we were and look where we are now.
Yeah, and I can't wait to dig into that, because you're gonna share with us about how you started, and I'm just always intrigued and honored just to know how much you have worked and the success you've worked, but you've gotten a lot of success.
Yes.
I'm getting ahead of myself, but you got a lot of success too.
Yes. I think that through life coaching that I've taken on, I have learned to accept and appreciate the growth and the success. It was very difficult for me to even say it out loud, like, okay, yeah, I might be a little successful. I think it was very hard to say that out loud, or to acknowledge that. I guess just from where we start and how hard we work, I definitely want to always keep both feet on the ground. So, but we need to learn to appreciate our progress and our growth.
That's true.
And that's something I'm definitely working on.
That's true. That's true. So you specialize in tax planning, small business, and individual tax returns. Insurance brokers with multiple carriers. You have real estate, housing licensed agent, buy, sell, lease, and invest. Invest. You do personal investing in real estate, and you have done it for over 7 years. Your own personal investing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And I've watched you. Your homes, you guys' homes, you and your husband, you guys personal investing. I'm like, ooh, she did that one.
Yes.
Oh my goodness,
Yes,
talk about
so much
flipping. You are a wife, mom, grandmother, board member on the Love Bot International, and you have something coming soon called Off Season.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Us entrepreneurs always got something in our back pocket coming up, right?
But it's serving, and
absolutely.
We love doing that, don't we?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you have to just go with it, because you know that what you have is going to help.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Living in purpose.
Well, you conduct business consultations for startup or existing small businesses, startup tax office consulting, real estate investment consulting, and learning how to fix and flip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. that's why you're here. You're gonna help us. You're gonna help
Hopefully,
us.
I hope that you can definitely take away at least one thing from our interview today.
We're gonna take away a lot, a lot. I mean, let's just go back over this audience. We said she conducts consulting for startup and existing small businesses, startup for tax office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And startup for real estate investing. Learn how to fix and flip.
Yes.
Okay, we're getting into it.
All
Getting
right,
into
let's
it.
go.
I talked to you about my word game, and for those who have been watching my show, you guys know about my word game. I will give Miss Angela one word, and she is going to tell us her first thought or thoughts about the one word.
Okay.
The first word is family.
Grandchildren, love, definitely love, family, just unconditional.
Yeah.
Unconditional. Actually, me and my husband just were talking about that yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That, all marriages, you bicker, you fight about nonsense, but if something's going down
Mm-hmm.
with one of our kids, one of our family members, our grandkids, him and I just, let's go, let's do it. Like, nothing's gonna come against our family. And it just makes me kind of fall in love with him all over again.
Oh, your husband is so sweet. Tell us his name.
His name is Sydney.
Sydney.
Yeah.
Sydney. And Sydney, you'll see Sydney through your promotions and the
Yes.
things that you do.
Yes,
You'll
my
see
husband's
Sydney right
definitely
along
a big
with
part.
you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And my family is also a big part
Yes.
of so much. My parents, my kids, my stepkids, my grandkids.
Oh, I know. I just love it. Travel.
Travel. You must do it. That's what I work for. That's what I work so hard for. I experienced travel at a very young age, but I definitely love to experience just what other cultures have to offer, other cities. Obviously, I'm very intrigued and excited about real estate, so I love to see the different homes in different areas and the architecture in different buildings and the hotel rooms. I'm just in love with real estate. So,
yes, me too.
and just the different people, and it brings me so much joy.
Yes.
Traveling does.
I see you guys just recently on was it a yacht?
Probably.
Yeah.
This year alone, we visited Boston. We went to Mexico a few times. We were able to take my stepdaughter and her husband to Cancun, which was a blast.
Okay.
Actually went there twice. We were supposed to go to St. Lucia in December, but I canceled it. I need to kind of take a break before tax season. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you guys get real busy.
Yes. But we absolutely love traveling and just doing the most where we're at. So.
Yeah. And that's good. That's what life's about, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you work, you balance it out, and you do it. I know it's a lot of work. We're both entrepreneurs, but if you're going to do it like you're doing it, balancing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I really worked really, really hard. I still work very hard, but in the beginning, definitely to achieve that, to be able to take some time and travel and see things, it definitely brings me a ton of peace and joy.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. What about courage? The word courage.
The word courage. We need a lot of it and more of it. I think that's probably the one thing that can hold us back, fear. But then you have to have courage to walk through the fear. So I think I think that's why we're sitting here today too, is to throw out courage out there to take that step to start that business or achieve some goals or, whatever it may be in your heart and your life, to have the courage to fulfill it.
Yeah, and with that, others watching us today, they see the examples. A lot of times if you see others doing it, it gives you the courage. To do it yourself, right?
Absolutely. Courage also, my parents, my mother, my grandmother, they definitely have a big place in showing me what courage looks like.
Tell me that. Tell me why. I mean, I know we're on our words, but tell me why.
I think you know, growing up, like you said, you just kind of adapt to your environment, but you don't really know what's going on. I think my family did a very good job of kind of protecting us from just the outside things, you know, the elements that are not so good. But, you know, since I was little, I watched my grandmother work very hard. We had talked about making tamales, and, you know, if she needed money, that's what she did. And she, all night, all day, for days, making tamales to either, you know, pay bills or Christmas time to be able to provide Christmas gifts for us.
Wow.
My mother, definitely, you know, very hard worker. You know, my parents did go through a divorce at a later age, and she was kind of in a situation, so I watched her be very courageous and go through that, and to see where she's at now. We just bought her first investment home.
Did you?
We did. I finally talked her into that. So, yep, she's 67 and bought her first investment.
67. So
Yes.
it is never too late. 67.
Too
So
late.
how is she feeling about that?
She feels good. You know, my mother is she's taught me to save, but she had definitely needed courage to, you know, invest her money a little bit differently.
Oh, wow.
And she was scared, but rightfully, right? Because just the things she had to go through, you know, she wanted to take that money and hold on to it for a rainy day, which is, we build that fear, right? So just to give her courage to, that's going to be okay. Let's do this. I'm here.
I was going
I'm
to
not
say,
going to let
she
you
had
fail.
to, right.
Absolutely. And it's never too late. You know, she's planning on retiring, and I said, you know, we need to start now.
You know, it just reminds me, I knew that we had kindred spirits, you know. I really did from the moment that we met.
Absolutely.
You know, but my mom wanted to, she retired, and she wanted to start something else. You know, she wasn't ready just to sit down, and she needed more income, or was like to supplement her income. And I was in the child care business at the time. And we had my initial major in college was early education. Tongue twister for a second. But it was early education, and I said, come on, let's go ahead and start a daycare.
Yeah.
And I helped her with the same, same type of story there. I was like, I'm with you.
Absolutely.
We'll do this.
I think that's the least that I could do for everything that she's done for me.
Exactly.
You know, and still does.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. She had a good 10-year run with that daycare, too. I was really proud of her.
That's amazing.
There's something she didn't think she can do, but just
you know, and I think that, you know, back then, you know, of course, I think the stigma of, you know, what women, you know, working women or having a family, you know, especially in the Hispanic culture or any culture, I think, you know, they kind of put us in of what we're supposed to do. And I think that, you know, obviously affects the way that back then they wouldn't even think of possibly starting a business or investing money in real estate or anything like that, you know, so.
But it's on the rise today.
Oh,
for women.
absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, definitely the culture has shifted, right? Women are like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yes.
I can do that too, though. I can do it all, actually.
I love seeing it. You know, I love watching.
Yeah.
You know, you go down your feeds and the social media, and then just, you know, all over, just hearing women step up and just be who they are.
Absolutely.
You know, and live their life and their dreams.
I think we've had many talents and many purposes, and now I think women are just having the courage to just walk through with it. And hey, I can be a wife and a grandma and a mom and a business owner. Yeah.
And having fun with it. I'm having a blast. What about you?
Oh,
you said you were, but I'm having a blast too.
I love it. Me absolutely.
Too. It's a lot of work, but we're having fun. What about failure?
I just had a conversation about failure with somebody very special to me, and it has to happen.
Yes, I agree.
In order for growth.
Yes.
It is very scary. And I think once you go through failure, you realize, okay, it's not that bad. And you really build character on how to overcome failure. And failure, I believe, is more self-inflicted. I think we feel like certain things are a failure, but that's withheld within us. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does make sense. It's interesting perspective, don't you?
Yeah. for example, let's just take divorce. You know, I've been through a divorce before, and I felt like a failure. Like I'm failed at being a wife, you know. But I learned that no, you know, I just need to have learned certain things and how to communicate certain things, and I'm not a failure. I'm capable of being a wife again, and I am.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. A happy one too.
Yes, very, very. You know, we all. It's just one of those things, you know, that has to happen. But you come so far behind failure. I mean, it's just you overcome so many things, and you learn and you grow, and you know it has to happen.
Yes, yes.
And it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's good. It's okay.
It's okay.
And it has to happen. I agree.
It does. It does. Yes.
What about joy?
Joy. Joy is what keeps us going,
Yes.
right? Finding what brings you joy is so important.
That's interesting. Finding what brings you joy. So that means that we need to look for and be present.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I had, like I had said before, I did some life coaching just because I needed to. I think as entrepreneurs or, you know, business women, men, sometimes we get so busy and we realize, oh my God, my cup is completely empty. And sometimes people think, oh, she's got it together. Look, she's successful, she's got it together, but not realizing you're running on an empty tank. And I really had to back up and find the small things that bring me joy. Even just, I tell my husband all the time, just me waking up, having a cup of coffee, and just quiet time, you know, brings me a lot of joy.
Yes.
Traveling brings me a lot of joy.
Yes. Doing those things, right?
This brings me a lot of joy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think one thing I have been taking note of is trying not to allow my cup to get so low. You know, just continue to maintain.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that?
It's a must.
Yeah.
It's a must. I think that you know, through everything, you know, you don't realize it. And because we have fear of failure, because we have so much going on, that the tank can be completely empty, and we're like, why am I screaming and yelling and not smiling and have anxiety? Oh, well, it's because I'm on empty.
Low.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I think that sometimes people don't, again, say, hey, how are you? You know, because they think, oh, she's got it together, you know. And I think we got to do a better job with that, and also fill in our tanks.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I have a couple more. What about fashion? You know I did fashion because you are a fashion diva.
You know, I think that it's so fun.
It is.
Me and my stepdaughter talk about fashion all the time. And I think that brings women together, you know, too, about fashion. And I think it's a way to express yourself. And I think fashion can be high-end, reasonable, and to put it all together, it's just a ton of fun. I have a ton of clothes, ton of shoes. They make fun of me because I'll try something on, I'll wear it one time, you know, but I love to put just things together. It's just...
I'm that too. I'm that girl too. One time. What is going on with us, Angela? I don't know.
I've always been that way, though.
Have you?
I have always been that way, and I don't know why. I don't know why. There are a few pieces, that I'll wear every day, like my leggings and my those are every day.
A favorite sweatshirt, you know, something like that. But if you're going out, it's like, okay, I wore that already.
It's kind of a game too, you know, like to see, okay, look, I got this for $9, and then I pieced it with this, and then look what I put together. It just makes you feel great. I love it.
And it's probably the artistic side of us.
Yeah.
I think fashion is art, you know.
Absolutely.
And I think we just get a chance to tap into or express our artistic side of us, especially for those who have it, because not everyone are comfortable with fashion.
And I think it's more accepted culturally, right? I think all over the world, right, fashion is becoming just this huge thing. And I think in fashion, you know, being a female entrepreneur, being a businesswoman in taxes and insurance, right?
Right.
And kind of changing that stigma of, you know, how we're supposed to look and how we're supposed to dress and how we're supposed to show up for work, of course, professionally and things like that. But, hey, she's coming in with, you know, a dress and a pair of tennis shoes on, you know, a pair of Dunks or something, you know, and it's like, okay, no, that's good, that's cool, you know?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that because you would equate taxes, you know, back in the day
Yeah.
as being a little stiff, but
Absolutely.
hey, you got the game and ran with it.
I absolutely did. That was one of the big things. We definitely wanted to change the stigma of a tax preparer in
And
the tax office.
we're gonna talk about that, but your whole office is, you know,
Oh,
on
yeah.
point, on point,
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yes. Success.
Success. I think success again is in the eye of the beholder. I think if you know, you're successful at you know, being an HR manager, then that's success.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you built success with, you know, saving for a new home
Mm-hmm.
for your family, success. You know, I think success sometimes is placed on one box
Mm-hmm.
and not success within whatever it is that your goal is. Everybody's goal is different. Everybody's journey is different. What I do, what you do, is not for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, if success sees that you have a healthy family,
Yes.
then that's your success.
I'm hoping that with just what you said, that becomes more loud
Right.
in the world, because you know, television, media, you know, social media,
Right.
you know, has defined a lot of times what success is supposed to look like.
Absolutely.
And it really does bring a lot of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it can, and it's definitely you know, shapes, sometimes can help shape the younger generation that's
Absolutely.
coming up.
Absolutely.
Because you want to achieve, you want to, you know, we have examples, but you know, success is all that you just said.
Absolutely. And I hope to be able to be a voice of that. You know, I definitely, you know, have fallen victim of that as well. You know, where you say, man, look at her. She's doing it, you know, and then you start feeling and
Comparing.
internalizing. Yeah. And then you start to have all those anxiety and fear of failure and all these different things that just cloud to what your success is. But I think along my journey as well, I've definitely learned that the stamp of success that people say, the cars, the money, the houses, etc., definitely does not bring you joy.
After it wears off.
It definitely does not bring you joy. Definitely learn that very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And the family and the health and the traveling experiences, things like that. That is success.
Yeah, I've been actually meditating lately on balancing the more success that I have acquired. It can tempt you to go internal and be all about you.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I'm being transparent right now.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's like, okay, no. I mean, that's not what I refuse to do that.
Absolutely.
I refuse to do that. So I had, you know, it was a little moment, just meditating on that. You know, just, you know, whispering, Lord, keep me directed to what you have me to do and be and so on. You know, just thinking about it. You know, and making sure that I don't become someone I don't want to be.
Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
it can. You get things.
You can
become.
definitely get wrapped up.
Yeah,
you
there
can
you go.
definitely get wrapped up in it. You can definitely get too busy where you maybe the intention's not there, but you know, you start to, you know, project that, and and again, you know, that's something definitely I never wanted to do as well. And it's funny because again, my husband comes into play here, but you know, one of the things that why I fell in love with my husband is he is very simple. You know, he's like, hey, I just want you in a t-shirt, jeans, and put on your ball cap and let's go for a ride.
Oh.
You know,
Uh-huh.
or you know, just the small things.
Yeah.
And so I think he's definitely helped me keep both feet on the ground.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Well, we have one last word.
Okay.
Mountains.
Mountains. They're breathtaking.
Uh-huh.
We went
Pretty,
to
right?
Colorado Springs. That was a trip that we went to. And you know, obviously we're in Houston, so Texas, so everything's flat here. So mountains. I guess just physically beautiful.
Yes.
Breathtaking. And I think with that kind of analogy is, you know, climbing those mountains and seeing it from
The top.
the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. I equate both of those. I mean, I can see both of those.
Yeah. One of my best friends, who's also my partner with Right Choice, he said something to me a couple years ago that kind of resonated with me. He was like, you have overcome so many obstacles, and you have overcome adversity so much. He's like, you're probably the one person that I know that has overcame so much adversity. And I was kind of going through something at the time, and he said, and this is going to be no different. And so I think mountains is kind of an analogy for, you know, overcoming adversity and obstacles. And then at the top, you're just like,
yeah,
you know?
Getting there, right?
Yeah,
and don't
absolutely.
stop because
And
there
don't
is a,
stop.
a destination, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it changes.
Yeah.
Well, great. That was fulfilling, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
I got a lot out of that. So,
Good.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, so I'm sure our audience did as well. But I have you here. We talked about your bio. I want to talk about one of the things you mentioned in your bio. And you said that you are a self-made female entrepreneur. What does that mean?
Well, unfortunately, kind of, I guess how I picture it is that, you know, there was a situation. I've always kind of felt it in my gut. Like I always kind of needed to do more, and, you know, kind of always any position I had kind of tried to take the lead, right? And two things happened to me. I worked for a very large corporation, and I had a daughter, and I felt like my back was against the wall. Like I couldn't make any mistakes.
Okay.
Because then I'd lose my job. Then I'd lose everything, right? And I remember starting to venture out to try to do different little things to make extra money, right? And so I got the first taste of entrepreneurship. I used to sell solar screens.
Solar screens.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very good at it, actually. But yeah, so I sold solar screens, you know. And then that taste of entrepreneurship, I was like, oh, wow.
I can do this, huh?
I can do this.
Uh-huh.
And then before that, there was a gentleman who worked within the same corporation. He actually sold solar screens as well. And I asked him for some just some information. And he told me, well, I can sell it to you, or you're going to have to figure it out on your own, just like I did. So I was like, okay, well, I will. So, you know, I think now it's a little better, but then, you know, what I mean by self-made is that, you know, I had to go and figure it out.
Yeah.
I had to figure it out. I had to reach out to individuals that would help and just give me encouragement and information on, you know, what I can do. And then trial and error.
Yeah.
You know.
So that started from the solar to the taxes, and we're going to get right into that in just a moment. So I don't want to, I want to make sure that we have enough time and talk about that.
Yeah.
Because that's really what you do now. You know, that you transition from that. So it's transitioning from the solar to taxes, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. Since we come back, we're going to go into a commercial break. I have my good friend, Miss Angela Espinoza, here with us. So tune in. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're so right for me, and I am right for you. I love the things you do, like sweet tasting wine. Your lips are so divine. Your loving turns me on. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you
you have prediabetes? If you do, you're not alone. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, and more than 80% don't know they have it. Prediabetes is a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. But now, North Carolina residents with prediabetes can enroll in a free or low-cost national diabetes prevention program. You can make healthy changes with support from this proven program. Get started now at joinaprogram.org.
When the stadium lights are dimmed, when the cameras stop flashing, when the pads are off, the pressure sinks in and it's just me in a world of expectation. Nobody can carry that alone. But pressure doesn't have to be carried alone. What if we came together as a team? Embrace talking openly about our mental health.
If we reached out, checked in.
Seize the awkward.
Imagine what we could do.
We are back. This is the Anna Linzie Show, and I have my special friend and guest, Angela Espinoza. She is a tax preparer, entrepreneur, fix and flip, real estate, consultant for businesses, small businesses. What else, Angela?
I know, right? No, that pretty much covers it.
That covered it. I didn't want to, but it's all good. It's all right there in line with in balancing one another, balancing
Yes.
what you do and how you are helping people and helping and doing what you love to do.
Right. Absolutely.
We both do real estate. We love real estate.
Yeah.
We both do
Fell in
real
love with real
estate.
estate.
Yes. And the tax service is crucial for any business that you do, but especially real estate.
Absolutely.
There's a lot that goes on with it.
I always say my tax service is my baby. It's my foundation. It's my rock. That's my per se bread and butter. That's my main thing. I think real estate, I just got into it to invest the extra money I was making, and then fell in love with real estate.
Yes.
Right. And then of course anybody that you talk to, or books that you read about successful people financially, is that everybody invests in real estate.
It's part of the portfolio.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that's kind of what got me going in real estate.
Okay, great. So we're back, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about your businesses and what you guys do. You own Right Choice Tax Service. Again, you do housing licensing agent. You buy, sell, lease, and invest.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little?
Yeah. So Right Choice, I started Right Choice in 2010 as a tax service, specializing in individual and small businesses. And kind of why I specialize in individual and small businesses just kind of leads back to, I think there was a big miss or gap where people would walk into a tax office not really understanding really what was going on. They just kind of what's the bottom line number? Don't know how we got there. Don't know how you got there. But as times have changed, obviously through COVID and all these different things, taxes change every single year, and we wanted our clients to understand what's going on, and be able to help them. We felt also when I started Right Choice in the Hispanic community, that there was a gap there. We wanted to be that bridge to be able to communicate and have them understand, without any type of language barrier. Because sometimes you agree and you might not understand. Same thing with language barriers and things like that. So we definitely wanted to bridge those gaps.
So how did you get into, we talked before the break, I kind of jumped ahead of myself, but before the break we talked about you being a sales rep and so solar.
Yeah, so I worked for a very large fitness industry, kind of starting off in my career. I managed a pretty big fitness club here in Houston, all around Houston. Long story short, I have a daughter. I had my daughter when I was 15 years old. So I had to work hard and fast, to make money to support her.
Yes.
So I was with this company for about 10 years. It was predominantly male industry. And, you know, it was very hard. It was very hard. I was a single mom, had to make money, but yet had to raise a daughter too. So how I got into taxes was some individuals were going to open up a tax office, and they were like, you know what, I think you would be perfect to run our tax service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, this is probably the best opportunity for me because I can work a few months out of the year and then be a mom, right? Trying to find that balance. So I did that for a few years, and you know, it just didn't work out between me and those individuals. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll go back to the fitness industry and I'll figure it out. No worries, right? But life happened, and I was going through a divorce, and I didn't have a job, and kind of found myself in a very tough situation. So I said, you know what, I gotta do this. I'm gonna do this. So ironically, I had about $8,000 in a tax refund from the prior year that I had saved and held on to, and I needed that to pay for an apartment for me and my daughter, and hope and pray that this business would kick off. And I told myself, you know what, I just need so much money, like maybe I think it was like $20,000, just so that I could survive the rest of the year, and then I'd figure it out. I had to, you know, pay rent and put my daughter, you know, take care of my daughter. So that was the goal.
You started your tax service business with $8,000.
I did.
Last of your finances.
Yes. And of course, again, I was going through a divorce, so I, you know, my daughter was a priority, and you know, rent still wasn't cheap back then, but I was like, I can do it. I know I can do it. And ironically, well, this is God for sure, I had went up and down Center Street where we are now, and I was looking for space, and it was like $1,200, $1,600, $1,800, and I was like, there's no way.
Right.
There's no way. And I remember driving down Center, not really looking for space, and where we are now, there was a little sign at the bottom that said office space for rent and the number. So I called, and my landlord now, he said, yeah, come take a look. So it was one office. He said $300.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. And I was like, okay, you know, about how much,
that was
you
a
know.
sign.
Oh yeah. You know, how much is like the utilities? He's like, no, we pay the utilities.
Oh wow.
I'm like, what?
Because I know where you are.
Yeah. The office right across from Allie, that was the office I started in.
Okay.
And he said, and there's furniture in there if you want to use it, great. So I just needed to buy a computer, and that's what I did.
Wow.
And that's what I did. And, you know, I had, of course, some clients that, you know, were very loyal to me. And, you know, they came, and we had a very successful year that first year.
Wow.
And so we were able to do it again. Did it again. Then did it again. So here we are 14 years later.
Because you stepped out and believed, we went back to courage. You stepped out and believed in yourself. Made the phone calls.
Yes.
Took the step. That's what it takes. You got to take the step.
And of course, you know, my parents were very supportive. I have very supportive parents. And I was, you know, they believed in me. They're like, you know, we can't help with much, but what we can, if you need it, we will help you. And, you know, just the strength from having to survive and take care of my daughter and show her that we're going to be okay.
You had to do something.
I mean, it was my drive.
Yeah.
It was my driving force.
Do you think that's still your driving force today?
Absolutely. And now, you know, my grandchildren, and I have stepchildren now, you know, my family is definitely my driving force for sure. And others, you know, we have a huge team of people now, and they're fantastic. I mean, that's why we are 14 years later in the growth of the company. But I personally take internally, like, I have to work hard and keep this going because we provide for their families too. You know, so it's so important.
And do you think that's why your level of excellence is where it's at? Because if you guys don't know, Angela does my CPA work, her business. in the experience, it's not just taxes. You have a full experience when you come to your
Yes.
your place. It's excellence. The education behind it, you know, again, that's there. It's just not going in. You experience all of that.
Yes.
Do-
Yes, so
Driven-
you know we started off, and so we did it, and then of course as we're kind of adding on, you know, I think I didn't realize, maybe I'm an entrepreneur, you know. I kind of grew into being an entrepreneur. I think, you know, doing it without realizing I'm doing it, and by the time I picked my head up, it was like, oh wow,
I've done
okay,
this.
well, we're doing something now, you know. And then we added on insurance
Okay.
to our another notch in our belt. And that's really when Lewis, my partner, came on board. He's always been a part of the process, but he was working as well, so it gave him the ability to actually quit his job and come on with Right Choice full time. And then he just took our insurance portion of the business and just took off with it, and he still does. He's phenomenal at managing our insurance part of the business.
And I have insurance there with you guys, with my home insurance. And what are the other insurance?
Yeah, so we do auto, commercial, home. We are licensed in life, but we don't sell life, but not yet. But I think, you know, overall our culture is that we wanted to change the way the tax and insurance experience felt. We are driven by customer service and the client. We want to educate not only in taxes but also in insurance. A lot of times they have all this stuff on this insurance policy, you don't even know what it means or what do I really have covered. So we take a lot of personal time with our clients to explain and understand.
You do. I love the barbecues and the giveaways. You guys actually, and because I know you, I know that the giveaways are legit.
Yeah.
They're true.
Absolutely.
You can actually go to Bahamas on you guys as a customer.
Yes.
And also the barbecues. You guys have appreciation days throughout the year too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We so I come from a service background. I had a lot of really good mentors in the big corporation that I worked for, and they taught me so much about service and to separate yourself from everybody else in the type of service that you provide, right? So, you know, I took that and, you know, we ran with it. And people love giveaways. And, you know, for the passion and love that we have for travel, that's why we give away a trip every year.
Okay.
Just to say thank you. There's no strings attached to it.
There isn't.
You file with us and we send you off on a whatever we're doing. Last year was Colorado. We've done Cabo, we've done a cruise, we've done Vegas, we've done so many
I haven't won
destinations.
yet.
Everybody tells me that. They come in, they're like, am I going to win this year? And I'm like, hopefully. But through the course of the tax season, we give away gifts, iPads and earpods, just because, you know, we appreciate it. We know you have a bunch of choices, and, you know, you choosing us is definitely appreciated.
With my tax experience there, you guys have helped me helped me grow my business. For the audience that's listening, how does having a good tax preparer help you grow your business?
Well, I think organization is probably one of the most key things, and I think as a tax preparer, I mean, you get everything, right? You see their start year, end of year, and if our client, you know, may not be the most organized, or you know, sometimes we have clients that come and say, I have no idea what I'm doing, right?
Receipts,
right? And you know how it is. You can say, oh yeah, I think I spent $100, and then really you actually spent $1,000. Well, we're closing the gap. We want you to be organized, number one, so that you can really see what's going on in your business, number one. And then, of course, it makes our job a little bit easier to be able to see your profit and loss and where you can close the gaps, where you can help. And also, with that organization, you know, how can we save you some money on taxes, right? That's probably one of the biggest expense outside of payroll for a business owner.
It
is paying in to taxes.
That's true.
So organization and really taking a good snapshot and creating really good habits with our business owners.
Allie helps me with that. Thanks, Allie.
I know. Allie's amazing, right?
Yes.
She is our she's our partner.
Yes.
Definitely.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but just my mind just went to Allie.
Absolutely. she is the most organized person I've ever met in my life.
Sweet.
She's
Super
just,
sweet.
yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So organization, and help you, see where you are as far as your profit and loss.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Allie helps me a lot to project. See, with me being able to see my profit, how much I gained and how much I've lost throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
With the 3 businesses that I have,
Right.
She manages those 3.
Right.
She also helps me, me seeing that helps me project how much business I want to do
Mm-hmm.
in the future, or and how much I should give as far as charitable expenses,
Right.
where my expenses should be as well.
Absolutely. So of course, hopefully most business owners, or even starting out, that we set goals. Everybody sets goals, hopefully for the beginning of the year, owning a business, to kind of say what I would like to see the business to do, what it's projected to do. And then we take that and we can snapshot it in, okay, well, this is what this looks like. Hey, we have 100% depreciation last year. If you're thinking about buying that, 1-ton vehicle, well, let's go ahead and do that, right? Because we see you're projecting to make an extra $100,000 this year. That will really help.
Yes.
Or, hey, end of the year, guys, you can make that extra contribution to your favorite, foundation or charity. Be ideal. That will help, So we try to give those tax planning options or snapshots to our clients so that they can be ahead of it. I think a lot of businesses that become, kind of in a sticky situation is because they're not getting ahead of it, and they're not planning ahead, and they're not talking to somebody and getting advice. It's kind of, we talked about, hey, I'm not great at taxes. I'm not great at this. Okay, that's okay. That's what we're here for. It's to help you. And also, I think to break it down to where, that makes sense, and not all these big words and terms and terminologies and tax code to you, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
And obviously she has, because when I go, I'm in, Allie, that's your lane. But
Yeah.
she does. I was able to communicate it well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, that's what I've been getting out of it, as
It's
well.
so important. It's so important. Hopefully you can see, okay, I can see this. And your job as an entrepreneur or small business owner, we want you to go out and be the best at what it is that you do.
Okay.
Let us help you not be focused on, put all your focus on the financial part of it, as far as taxes and tax planning. So
Yeah, where you can go out and do that, because if you're a business, you're gonna it's essential to be able to have good tax practices and the stability there.
Getting that snapshot through the year so that you know what's going on in your business, but also, hey, the IRS, to get ahead of that. So the IRS requires that if you owe more than $1,000 in tax liability at the end of the year, that you should have paid quarterly taxes through the year. So if you earned, $35,000 untaxed income, for the first quarter, then we want to project that to see how much estimated tax you would owe in that quarter. You send it into the IRS. It's kind of like a W-2, I guess, a W-2 employee. They prepay their taxes each paycheck. Something very similar.
And you guys are able to set that up?
Yes, we are able to set up estimated taxes and get that payment into the IRS, so that way you don't get that lovely letter that you'll get if you fail to pay estimated tax, and then they add on penalties and interest for not paying estimated tax as well. I think sometimes that can be a big shocker if you're not already doing that.
Yeah, and also too, for those who sometimes get the PPPs or the government assistance, those can really affect your tax, surprise you at the end, as far as a business person getting what it can really hurt sometimes,
Right.
or help while
Right.
you're in the middle of it and hurt at the end.
Yeah.
Am I making?
Yeah, I think sometimes anytime you make, business decisions, you should talk to your tax advisor, just because we want to make sure that, You know, is this just going into, is this a loan? So that's just going into a liability. It's not necessarily income. You know, is it, you know, are you receiving something from something else? You know, a lot of communication with your tax advisor is so important. Because obviously taxes is one of the first things you need to pay. That's the real net income is after taxes.
And that's the same with buying real estate. There are certain times that you breaks that you can get with real estate, buying real estate, but also selling a home. Can you expound on that?
I can expand on that. So there are some tax rules that, you know, if it's your homestead and you've lived in there for 2 out of 5 years, then you don't pay taxes up to $250 if you're single or head of household, and $500 if you're married filing joint. So what does that mean, right? Is that if you live in your home and for 5 or 2 out of the 5 years that you've owned it, and you gain $100,000, which a lot of people did this past couple of years, right? They cashed out. They had equity of you know 100,000 plus, which is fantastic. But whoa, hold on. The IRS is saying, hey, how long did you live there? Is this your homestead? And that determines whether if you pay taxes on that $100,000 gain.
So 2 years or?
So you have to have owned the homestead for 5 years.
Okay.
And lived in it for 2.
Okay. Okay. So that doesn't apply to investors then?
No. Well, there's, you know,
there's some perks. Huh?
There's some
ways.
You know, ways around. I've had investors where, you know, they literally go from investment home, they live there, you know, for a little while, and then they go to the next, you know, and then they sell it. You know, there's
this way. So this is why I have my girl here. Because she and Right Choice, they can navigate you.
Absolutely. And I think also what helps is that I am an active real estate investor, so I get it, right? I get what this investor comes in and has at the table, you know, and we're always reading and asking questions with the IRS, you know. Yes, every year, myself and my team, this year we went to Las Vegas to attend an IRS seminar, and that was a huge topic, was real estate investors flipping and how to properly, you know, put that in for taxes.
Wow. And that was one of the not only just who you guys were and how the experience that you get, but just the knowledge. And me being a real estate investor myself, I was planning, I'm not going anywhere, which is good because you guys have a full picture of me.
Yes.
You know, you have
it's so important. It's so important, and we do definitely respect that, and we definitely emphasize that to our team. Is that, you know, we know everything, you know, and you trust us with everything, and that's so important, and we take a lot of pride and hard work behind that, and we want to make sure that we continue to be the best for you. We want you to go out there and be successful. We want to be a part of that journey, into saying, hey, you know, we can help out with that.
And she cheers me on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She cheers me on.
I think that's the best part, just seeing companies and individuals grow.
Yeah. You also, let me ask this like this, do you do estate planning as well, like LLCs and?
I do. We do like company planning. So for example, a lot of times we have the client that comes in that's the small business first, and then we're watching you grow. So then our job is to say, okay, we see you're doing it. So let's talk about possibly LLC in this company now. Let's talk about electing to be an S corporation, or from the very beginning, let's talk about what type of business you're getting into, so that way we make sure that it's structured properly. If you have an outside partner coming in, or if your partner's with your husband, you know, we need to talk about all that, because that determines a lot on how you pay taxes, and how your business is structured is so important.
Yes. So say someone is working on a W-2, they're working for someone else, and they're wanting to go into a business. What advice would you give them? What would be the 1, 2, 3 step?
So if they were already working and they wanted to do an or go from W-2 to Self-employment.
The W-2 to self-employment.
Completely. So I would advise them, one, is have at least 6 months of savings.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because whenever you start a business, there's a lot of uncertainty. You could have the best business plan and the best plan in place to exceed and excel, but you know, it can be very stressful. It is very stressful. So if you can save 6 months of household bills, you know, my focus, my energy, everything is going to be on making that business successful. My mortgage, my car payment, my daycare, my food expenses are taken care of for 6 months.
That is interesting because the cash flow doesn't come in right away.
It does not. It does not. It does not.
Most people jump in with a loan and
right. And this is a very good way to, again, you know, not commingle your finances, meaning do not commingle your personal finances with your business finances, because that can sometimes walk into a disaster, not only starting out, but for the future, if that becomes a habit. So that would be number one, is 6 months of savings. Number two is get with some sort of tax advisor, financial planner, you know, whomever will give you the best advice to say, okay, let's start from the beginning with some good habits. Let's talk about, yes, good habits. Number one. Yeah, number two. Yes, number two. Let's start with some good habits.
Good habits.
What kind of business are you having? Okay, great. Are you going to have employees? Are you going to run payroll? Do you have a business account? Do you have, you know, all of these different small things? You know, are we going to do an LLC? Do you need business insurance for what you do? Do you need to report to the Texas Comptroller sales tax? Are you going to be paying sales tax?
Right.
You know, how are we going to plan to make sure you save for those estimated taxes? There's a lot that goes on in starting a business responsibilities.
In doing that, you're structuring yourself the strongest in the
For success.
Yes, you know, the strongest way possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you get all that out of the way, right?
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable. Nobody likes to talk about it. It's stressful.
Yeah.
But then when we sit down and we talk to these people, they're like, oh, that wasn't so
gosh,
bad.
that's me.
Yeah. And they'll come in, oh,
Yeah.
I saw this on TikTok, or I saw this on this. And I'm like, okay, well, great. But do you understand what that means? Okay, let's pull it together. And then we have a plan. Okay, let's plan, let's execute on the plan. And then you go out and you go and take care of that dream that you have. That's what we want to do. That's what we do.
Is there a number three?
Yeah, so of course. And the number three would be, you know, definitely whether if you're getting a business loan or if you're getting, you know, if you've saved money to start up, you know, definitely putting a budget in place.
A business budget.
A business budget. It's so important. Just as important as a personal budget is, a business budget is even as important.
Yes.
And it has to be tight.
Mine
For the
is.
first couple of years, it has to be tight because, you know, again, that's detrimental. And then have a savings plan for your business. So I know the reason why we've grown so much and we're 14 years in is we save as a business. So that way I know next year I want to add on a prepare. I know I want to remodel my office. We purchased a location 2 years ago as well. So we save.
Yes.
We save. And then always, probably another tip, last tip is always remember too, you're the last one that gets paid. So everything else has to get paid. Our business, when you know it's kind of consolidated, although we are year round, we take that and we budget immediately. You know, obviously your employees get paid. We budget out a whole year of finances to make sure we stay in business. We have a whole year of savings for our bills. We put that up. Then we say, okay, what is it that we want to see in the next year or two? And then we put a savings aside for that.
Yeah.
And then we pay our taxes. And then we say, okay, here you go. Now this is your paycheck.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people don't realize that, that you are the last one that gets paid.
Yeah, you want to eat on the business as you go.
Right.
Most people do.
And then it can create kind of a rob Peter to pay Paul type of situation if you're not careful.
Yeah. Those are good. Those are good.
Yeah.
They're sound structured way. I mean, it's a sure
Right.
success plan.
Absolutely.
Not the quick get rich quick type of.
It's not. It's nice and steady.
Yeah, nice and steady.
Nice and steady.
Which is comfortable.
Yes.
And ensuring that. That's great. That's great. We have talked about a lot, but tell me, what are some myths about financial planning?
I think that some myths are that only entrepreneurs or business owners can do tax planning and financial planning. I think everybody should go through tax planning and financial planning.
Yeah, for their own home.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's a good one.
I think that sometimes as life changes consistently, and to know possibly where that, where you're going will definitely help. It'll help relieve stress, anxiety, and make sure that you're, paying enough on your W-2 job. The W-4 changed drastically, and a lot of people kind of got caught off guard by it.
Oh, wow.
And that was tough. That was a tough couple years, and it's tough to explain it. So, but if you're kind of ahead of it, hey, Angela, take a look at my, my tax form. Am I filling this out correctly? We do that all day long. We do those just to make sure, so that you're eligible for a refund at the end, and you're not falling short at the end. So I think the myth is, I think everybody can benefit from tax planning, not just business owners.
I agree. I agree, and that will help, all the way around, and also give you advice,
Peace of mind.
Yeah, peace of mind. Yeah, that's good. Angela, there's so much more I want to talk about. We had just a couple more minutes here. You guys flip.
Yes.
Fix and flip. What you started? You and your husband.
Yeah.
Started. How do you feel about that? What kind of? I've seen your homes. Let me just back up. I've seen your homes. You guys have done an amazing job. I've flipped homes before. I know it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
But tell me what you would like to know, us to know about flipping.
Yeah, I'll tell you really quickly. So a lot of people ask me about my flipping. I got into it about 7 years ago for a retirement plan. As business owners, we don't have a retirement plan, so we have to, think ahead, right?
You're right about that.
And I had a client really quickly. He worked at a large oil company, and he had a ton of rental properties. And I asked him, "Can you give me anything, any nuggets, please?" And he said, "Invest in real estate. Take your extra money and invest in real estate. You're never going to go wrong." So then I bought my first rental property, intended to flip, but I got scared, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if that's enough money for all this work, so I'll just rent it out." So that's what I did, and then I attacked and went to another flip, and then immediately we fell in love with it, my husband and I, and my husband was working in the oil fields at the time, and he was able to stop working there.
That's
because
big.
we were, yeah, absolutely. And so we fell in love with it. We are not your typical flippers, so we don't have a cookie cutter process. We like to put a little pizzazz on all of our flips.
I think that's the fun part about
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Not to be a cookie cutter.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. And so we just kept doing it, and again, it's all about a budget and a plan. And so we've stuck to that, and we've been really successful at it.
Yes.
So we do that for fun.
Yes, for fun.
For fun. Yeah.
Does your husband do the construction part of it? No?
Yes. Yes, so he manages our contractors, and
manages
of course all the
contractors.
construction, all the really tough work. And he's definitely a leader in his own right.
Yes.
So he leads this team to get our houses done and done on time. And
Yes.
again, the plan, right? You can't let them linger on for months and months because you lose money that way.
That is amazing to come from the oil industry into that. So you guys you're doing it. You're doing it, going forward with it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell our guests before we end our show?
Yeah. I think just, I know we got a little bit of a snapshot of who I am and where I came from, but I think what I like for people to leave with is that, you can do it. You can do it. I've been in some really tough situations, and came out of the back end here. And I think females, cultural females, Hispanics, Asians, African Americans, we can do it. We have a seat at the table with everybody else, and we just need to use our voices and tell our stories on how.
Yes.
And there's nothing special about me on why or how I got here. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it was just a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work and planning, and I want to be the bridge now to help and give motivation and information about how you can fulfill whatever it is that you want to attain in life.
Exactly the reason why I had you on the show here.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is awesome.
I hope you have me back, so maybe we can talk a little bit more in depth.
That is, without being said, I didn't even get through half of my notes here because you're so informative, and you know a lot about what you do. So we're definitely going to, come back and have you back and go on to more conversations, because you have events coming up.
I do have events. I have really quickly, hopefully within this next year, a goal of mine is to create something called Off Season, which is really something for me as an individual, my consulting business that I would like to start or provide. Yes. So I'm not sure exactly what that looks like, but that was an idea that I had. I've had a lot of people approach me. I definitely want to help as many people as I can, and I call it off season because that's mainly the time, because when it's tax time, I'm there. I'm seeing everybody. I am not the business owner that's at home talking to my team from there. No, I'm in the office, in the grind with them. So off season is definitely the time that I get to do all the extra stuff.
Awesome. So how can our audience reach you, Angela?
Yeah, so we have 2 convenient locations in Deer Park, Texas, and on Wood Forest Boulevard on the east side. And our website is under construction, but you will be able to find us on our website and on all social media pages.
Yes,
Right Choice Tax and Insurance.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you do taxes by way of website, or do they always have to come into the building?
No, so actually we have email options. You can drop off. We are this year doing a web version, meaning we're mobile. We can be mobile now.
That's right.
I won't be mobile, but we can be mobile. I like to be face to face. But yes, there's so many different options on how you can file your taxes with us. And you can reach us, like I said, on any social media platform and get our contact information and give us a call. I'd love to chat.
Yes. Now, I'm still here. What about those who are in different states? I know you need to be licensed.
We do all 50 states.
You do all 50 states?
We do all 50 states.
Great.
Yes, absolutely. So we have clients all over.
Wow.
All over,
I didn't
yes.
know that.
Yes, and we can have a consultation, Zoom consultation with them, let them know how they can get this information over to us very safely and securely. And then we chit-chat over Zoom or over the phone or over email. There's so many convenient ways to do taxes now, and we try to make it as easy and personable as possible.
I'm so glad I asked that question because I'm not originally from the state of Texas, and this program goes throughout the United States.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, and just to mention too, we do have licensed real estate agents now so we call them our hybrid team members. So they're licensed in taxes and real estate or insurance and real estate. So we have in-house sales agents now at our both locations. And then of course myself and my partner Lewis, we are active investors, so we do help anybody interested in investing.
Awesome. Well, Angela, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I really appreciate all the information that Ms. Angela has given us, and I know that you guys do too. We are now at the end of our show here, but again, check out Right Choice Insurance, tax services, and the real estate and all. What's going on? But you're with the Anna Linzie Show, and we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you Monday, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We're right here on Clarke TV Network. Thank you guys. See you later.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. Even though we are one of the most food-rich countries in the world, 15 million children don't know where their next meal is coming from. This is unacceptable, and something the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is working to solve. Instead of accepting that our country lets billions of pounds of surplus food go to waste every year, Feeding America has made it their mission to help families in need by rescuing this food. Through food pantries and meal programs, the nationwide network of food banks provides more than 3 billion meals